The Icons of Real Estate Podcast. Are you ready to learn the proven money-making secrets from top-producing Icon agents? Ready to skyrocket your business? This podcast is for you. Tune in every week with your host, Tomasz Fonseca, and find out how to implement proven strategies to 10 times your business, from $3 million to $30 million in just 12 months. Brought to you by the Masters in Real Estate Marketing, Arter SEO.
Hello and welcome back to the Icons of Real Estate Podcast. I'm your host, Timothy Caetano, and today, ladies and gentlemen, we have a good show for you. Now, I've told you, we are going worldwide. We are not just looking at the real estate market in America, but we are taking it to the world. And today's guest is all the way from Auckland, New Zealand, and he's ready to tell us a bit more about the real estate market over there. Now, if you're tuning in and you are in Auckland, then hey, this is a show that you do not want to miss because you might have an agent that you can work with. And this is your opportunity to get to know him a lot better. And for you guys out there that are not in New Zealand, it's a good opportunity for you to learn a bit more about the real estate market there. Who knows? You might just be relocating there and you want the best service in town. Grant here is here to help you out. Now, ladies and gentlemen, help us welcome today's guest, Grant Hackett. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you very much, Timothy. I'm pleased to be on board and
Oh, yeah.
pleased to share any knowledge that I can with everybody and just show them how different real estate is performed here in New Zealand compared to the US.
I'm quite curious. I do want to know a bit more about the real estate market in New Zealand, but I also want to get to know you a lot better as well. I always ask my guests this question because I believe that your story can inspire someone else out there, someone else that's been thinking about getting into real estate, but maybe they have some challenges, maybe feel like they're not well equipped for this industry. I believe sharing your story can definitely inspire someone else out there. Now, we want to get to hear your story today, Grant. How did you get into real estate?
Okay, well, as you can see, I'm a slightly older gentleman.
Yeah,
I'm not a spring chicken anymore. I wish I
man,
was.
I couldn't tell. I was like, man, you see me?
Yeah. So I actually started off my career as a chartered accountant, of all things.
Yeah.
And from that there, I then went into being a financial controller of a pharmaceutical company, and then went on to be a marketing manager with a $5 million a year marketing budget, and took that company from 500,000 to 30 million in 3 years. So yeah, that was very good. I then became a business owner and ran an IT company and had 18 service technicians answering to me.
Mm.
I then went into ERP sales and then decided to retire.
Mm.
And I
Mm.
then looked at my finances
Mm.
and thought, if I'm going to live to 90,
Mm.
I'm going to run out of money. I mean, I had a bit of savings put aside, but when you go to retire at 55, you think, well, that's a long way to go. It's a
Yeah.
lot of savings that you need. So I thought, how can I actually top up my savings?
Mm.
And so real estate appealed to me. My father had a go at it. He hadn't been that successful in it. But I thought, well, Dad was never a salesperson. I've always been in sales.
Yeah.
Let's give it a go. And I've
Yeah.
never looked back.
Mm.
And so I joined a boutique agency called Glover's Real Estate in Auckland, New Zealand, which you would never have heard of.
Yeah.
And they had the best training ever. And I'm so glad I chose them to start my career off.
Mm-hmm.
And in 2021 and 2022, I was their top agent. And then I moved on to, I got an invitation to join EXP. And I said, no, not for me. No, I'm happy where I am.
Yeah.
Now, everybody says it. It's the biggest regret that I didn't say yes straight away. Because looking back, it's such a wonderful vehicle to partner with.
Mm.
And that's what it's about to me, is the fact that, as you can see from my branding, I go under the name of Smart Sale Real Estate, but I'm also partnered with EXP. And so it's the vehicle that's allowed me to actually build my business, to create freedom for myself and give myself options, and also build a retirement fund.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the biggest things that I've found with real estate is, as soon as you stop selling, guess what happens to your income?
Mm.
It goes to zero.
Yeah. Yeah.
It just dries up completely.
Mm.
Now, I wanted to have something that I could take away with me, and EXP gave me the option of company shares. It gave me the option of building a business underneath me,
Mm.
and then helping mentor them to succeed as well. So, and on 2024, I got asked if I would become a member of the IAAC, which, for those that don't know that acronym, it's the International Agents Advisory Council, of which there is a maximum of 12 people worldwide
Yeah.
that are invited to join that. So I'm very privileged to be serving on the IAAC.
Wow.
That's
Wow.
it in a nutshell.
Wow, that's amazing. Now, one thing that I like about your story is you definitely touch on what I'll say is the reality of most people that are retiring today. Um, Especially with, I mean, I know in the US it's quite common with inflation, and even in other countries, you look at your retirement funds and you look at the current cost of living and you like, I don't think this would be enough, you know. And a lot of people always ask the question, like, how am I going to make it? How am I going to get through? When this money dries out, what am I going to do? I mean, I love the fact that you're like, you know what? I'm not just going to sit here and just be wondering. I'm going to do something about it. But what made you get into why real estate? What made real estate more appealing to you more than anything, any other industry out there?
It came about because my wife's uh, parents died about that time.
Oh,
And I thought, well,
condolences.
I can sell this house. And so I gave it a go. And then I got approached by a couple of agents, and they said, well, hey, we'd like to work with you and like to see what you're doing. We're quite happy to work alongside you. And so I did that there. And they said, you know what, you'd be really good at this. And I thought, yeah, maybe I would be.
Yeah.
What have I got to lose?
Yeah. And what I like about your story, I think it's inspiring. It definitely would inspire a lot of people out there that are already retired or considering retirement and had the same questions that you had. Um, a lot of them might say, "Hey, I think, you really have to be young for this." I think it's not an industry for the anyone that's retired or the elderly, as some would put it. What would be your advice to people out there that were in the same position that you were in a couple of years ago, that are considering getting into real estate, but think that, hey, I'm not young enough for this. I think the young bucks would take over and leave me dry.
Okay. I would I'll start with a little story, and that is, what I would say to them is, go down to the local hardware store,
Yeah.
go and buy a hammer and a nail and some
Yeah.
pieces of wood, build a bridge and get over it. Because the
Oh, this.
reality is, yeah, experience pays huge dividends in real estate.
Mm.
People deal with people that they know, love, and trust. And it's a lot easier to trust something that a more experienced person is saying than it is for somebody who's, dare I say it, wet behind the ears still.
Yeah, 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 that's true. That is quite true. That is true. So I hope you guys out there listening to this. I hope you guys are listening to this. As you're listening to this, I mean, wait for this episode to finish first and then go out there and take action, right? go and take action, right? There's no use sitting there and just wondering, hey, look, experience, like Grant said, experience is a commodity in the real estate industry. And I think the more experienced you are, the more you can go out there and build relationships. Now we get into the most interesting part of this episode, because I really want to know a bit more about Auckland. As a real estate agent in Auckland, what is unique about Auckland and the real estate market in Auckland compared to the US? I'm not sure if you are familiar with the US market, but can you just tell us what's unique about the real estate market in Auckland, New Zealand?
Yeah, definitely. And yes, I am familiar with the US market.
Mm.
I've in fact just come back from a conference in Miami.
EXP
Uh,
Con!
yes, EXPCon
Yeah.
2024.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, and I was aware of it before because of the fact that I tend to study things, and that comes from my accountancy background. Now, you probably don't realize what a difference your MLS has,
Mm.
right? And my understanding of your MLS is the fact that when you list a property, everybody can see it
Yes.
and everybody can sell it,
Yes.
right? That's not the case in New Zealand.
Oh,
In fact,
really?
outside of the US and Canada,
Mm.
it's not the case.
Mm.
We have individual portals. So we're paying those individual portals to promote our properties,
Mm.
and our agency agreements are exclusive.
Mm.
So we get to list and sell the property. We can do what's called a conjunctional with an agent, but you have to approach the listing agent one-on-one
Mm.
to be able to sell that property, and you negotiate deal by deal the
Mm.
percentage that you will get. There's no such thing as a buyer's agent in New Zealand.
Oh, really?
So
Wow.
we have a duty of care to the buyers, but we work solely for the sellers.
Mm. Mm. I
So
like
quite
it.
different.
Quite different, and I like it. So safe to say, when you put out a listing out there, not a lot of competition, I see.
Well, it's one way of looking at it, but there's
Mm.
lots of listings.
Mm.
And the biggest thing is the cost to the vendor.
Mm.
So that, for example, if our biggest portal is called Trade Me,
Mhm.
and to list a property on that there, we get what's called vendor paid advertising and or VPA, and the vendor is up for the better part of $2,000 just to list on that one portal. And they probably need to list on about five. Now, the others aren't as dear, but combined, they're probably another $2,000. So you're looking at $3,000 or $4,000 to be able for the vendor to put towards it. If they won't, then you've got to decide whether you will.
Mhm.
So
Mm.
quite different.
Quite different, quite different. And what are some of the challenges that you face as a real estate agent in New Zealand?
Okay, like the rest of the world,
Mm.
2021 was the high,
Mm.
right? Things were going gunbusters.
Yeah.
If you you listed a property 10 days later, it was sold. It was unconditional sales.
Yes.
Um, Now, another thing that we do in New Zealand that you don't do over there is auctions. So about 50% of our properties are sold by public auction.
Mm.
So that's quite different as well,
Yeah.
rather than by negotiation.
Mm. Mm.
Um, and so in doing that there, we have to be very cognizant of what is in the best interest of the vendor.
Mm.
Um, Now, having got your listings, you've got the normal sort of things of having to do your photographs, having to do your walkthroughs, having to do your um, videos, and of course AI is a big part of that there.
Yes, yes,
Uh,
yes.
yeah, I heard it say that basically AI is never going to replace a real estate agent, but a real estate agent that doesn't embrace AI will be replaced by one who doesn't.
Yes, that's what we believe. We believe that yes, it's not there to replace real estate agents, but if you don't embrace it, it definitely might.
Mm,
And do you use AI in your business?
absolutely.
Wow,
And I'm very focused on social media as well.
wow.
So um, now that's strange because when I did my accountancy,
Mhm.
y- you were not even allowed to take a calculator into your exams.
Yes.
Our, our schools did not have computers.
Yes, yes.
So it's a whole generational shift that I've had to go through. And social media is exactly the same. I've had to teach myself, and I've also used um, mentors like Mike Sherrard
Yeah.
um, to help me on that regard. And he's been very helpful, I must say.
Oh, shout out to Mike. Shout out to Mike for that. Now, what social media platforms do you use to attract new clients, and what has been working for you the best?
Okay. My main one is YouTube,
Mm,
and all my channels are under Smart Sale doc or NZ, Smart Sale NZ.
yeah.
So YouTube, and I partner that with Facebook, with Instagram, with X,
Mm.
um, basically all the main ones.
Hey, hey. I don't know about you guys. If you are a younger agent out there and you haven't started using social media. Man, I don't know what your excuse is. This episode right here should be a wake-up call. Right, like Grant is making you look bad right now because he he decided to adapt. I think the biggest thing that a lot of agents are afraid of is adapting to changes. And technology is one of those changes that people have to just accept. It's here now. AI is here. It's either you adapt or you definitely be replaced. I'm curious, what does the smart sale mean to you? I've been looking at it and I'm like, man, that's a really unique name. What does it mean to you? And how does that help you better serve your clients?
Okay. The whole thing is about being there for the clients and being, how would I put it? Being very conscious of the fact that it's the client's largest asset, if not one of the largest assets. Now, they are typically very, very nervous
Mm,
about optimizing the value that they get for that property.
mm,
Now, as real estate agents, I presume it's the same in the US, we are expected to work for the vendor and to get the highest price possible.
mm.
However, my experience is that a lot of real estate agents are just there to get any price that the vendor will accept.
Yeah,
We even have a name for it over here, and I'm sure you use it over there. It's
yeah.
called commission breath.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
Oh,
so that there, I mean, so what the uniqueness is the fact that I'm very selective in the clients that I work with.
mhm.
I will say no to clients if I don't feel the fit is right, or I don't feel that I'm going to be able to help them, and they're going to want to partner with me. And I mean partner in the true sense,
Mhm.
because if they don't see it as a partnership, I don't want to work with them.
Yeah.
I only work with about oh 10 to 20 clients a year,
Mm,
and I'm very selective in the ones that I do choose.
mm.
So I like to say that I qualify my clients out rather than them qualifying me in.
Wow. I like that because some agents out there will just drag the client along. You know you can't help this person, but you're like, hey, we'll try. We'll figure it
Yeah,
out. And it's a nightmare for a couple of years a couple of months until you realize, okay, this is not working out. So I
yeah.
like that. Now, I want to find out for someone living in the US that's you know, thinking of visiting New Zealand and, looking into investment property, is it something that is possible for, US residents to acquire investment property in New Zealand? And if so, what would be the process of that?
Okay. There's quite a few hoops that somebody who is not a New Zealand citizen
Mm,
um, or is not domiciled in New Zealand have to go through.
yeah.
And it basically comes down to, have you got enough wealth to be able to support yourself if you were to live here in New Zealand?
Mhm.
But it's about a 6 month process that you have to go through to qualify to buy property here in New Zealand. And it's quite a tough policy. We want to keep New Zealand for New Zealanders, or Kiwis, as we like to call ourselves.
I like that. So you guys here, it's a tough process. Okay, right? The guys in New Zealand love New Zealand and they want to keep it to themselves. So if you're willing to go through the process, you better go for it. Now, I think you're quite unique. I mean, you have a background in accounting. How did that help you when you got into real estate? Because I mean, you're good with numbers, So how did that help you serve your clients?
Okay. If you think about it,
Mm,
that's the topmost priority on most vendors' minds.
mm.
What are the numbers?
Yeah.
How much am I going to get out of this property? Can I afford to buy elsewhere? Where's my next journey going to take me? And
Yeah.
so to be able to sit down with them and relatably talk them through that journey whilst covering off the numbers is such an advantage.
Yeah.
It really is. It means instead of sitting adversarially across
Mm,
the table,
mm,
you can come round the table and sit beside them.
mm,
Now, the more that you can sit beside your vendor and partner with them, the better the relationship will be, the better the trust will be, and the more successful you will be.
mm. So you guys hear that. If you are afraid of numbers and numbers, maths is not your thing, you might not be able to relate to someone because I know it. If I want to partner with someone, I want to hear the numbers and you better know what you're talking about. So you are a real estate professional. You have to carry yourself as one. It's good for you to educate yourself, gain the knowledge, understand your industry. Now, Grant, I know we are running out of time, but I do want to take this time to give a special shout out to the sponsors of today's episode, and that's the Icons of Real Estate Podcast Network. Now, whether you're in New Zealand, whether you're in the US, or anywhere in the world, the Icons of Real Estate Podcast Network is here to make podcasting accessible to you guys. Now, if you guys were to start your own real estate podcast, what would you call that? Comment down below if you're watching this on YouTube or visit our website and let us know. But today, oh man, I think I've been waiting for this because I want to know, Grant, if you were to start your own real estate podcast, what would you call it?
That's a very good question.
Yeah.
And I actually have given that a bit of thought
Good.
because it's on my bucket list, if you like, to possibly do exactly that. And
Good.
so, two names that have come up to the surface so far is the Property Playbook as
Property
one,
playbook. I like that.
and the other one is Unlocking Real Estate.
Ooh, we have two good names here. I don't know which one you'd go with, but I love them both. What inspired these names?
I'll be perfectly honest,
Mm.
AI help.
Hey, you know what? I like that. I like that. We embracing technology. Sometimes we can be good at everything, like I know I definitely tried it. I'm going to tell you this. I recently became a dad. I tried it. I was like, okay, I'm trying to think of some names here. I was like, hey, give me some girl names. Came up with some names. I'm like, okay, that all looks good. Okay. So I like that. Grant, you've been an amazing guest on the show, but sadly we are running out of time. But I want to thank you for being an amazing guest because you're not only an inspiration to, older people out there or people that have retired, but even to the younger generation. Man, I think today you made old people, young people even look bad. You're like, hey, young people, I know social media. I'm there. I'm doing it, and I'm making money from it. All right, and you were telling, hey, if you are a retiree and you're worrying about, hey, how am I gonna get money? Hey, go to the hardware store and build yourself rich. Get over it. I was like, you know what? I love this. I love your energy. I love your mindset. It's amazing and it's inspiring. It definitely inspired me to wanna keep working and keep pushing and striving for more and not making excuses, which I love about your story. You didn't sit back and make excuses. You went out there and you got things done. So thank you for being an amazing guest and being an inspiration to our audience and to the people that you serve. So ladies and gentlemen, if you want to know how, if you're in New Zealand, first of all, and you want to know how you can partner with Grant, you can click on the links down below. We'll have his website and his social media. And all you have to do is reach out to him. And hey, if it's a good fit, then trust me, you're going to get the best service in town. You're going to get the best service in New Zealand. And to take it from me, because hey, Grant definitely knows his way around in New Zealand. So, Grant, thank you so much for being an amazing guest. And before we leave, do you have anything that you'd like to say to our audience or real estate agents out there?
Just get out there and do it.
Yeah, I like that.
Get rid of your excuses. Your
Mhm.
excuses will only hold you back. What you
Mm,
need to do is to say, okay, they're my excuses, put them behind me
yes.
and charge forward.
And I love that. And I love that. What I like is you are living it every day. You are living in that advice. You are proof that, hey, when you get rid of your excuses, you can definitely be successful. Now, you guys, you heard that. Young people out there, get rid of your excuses. I think, especially as a young person, I know that my generation loves making excuses. We will find any reason to just say, hey, this is why I can't do this. All right. But if Grant here can do it, if Grant can go out of retirement and still be successful, man, it's never too late. Get rid of the excuses, go out there and get it. It has been an amazing episode here on the Icons of Real Estate podcast. And, I really didn't want to see this end, but hey, we might have Grant here again because there's so much that I want to learn about New Zealand. We didn't touch on that a lot because we wanted to get to know Grant today, but we're going to get to know New Zealand a bit better. And hey, if you want to see him again, then just comment down below. If you want to say you see Real Estate Unlocked or the Real Estate Playbook, tell Grant, hey, go and get it started so we can hear
Yeah.
more from you. All right. So thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube. If you listen to this on any other platform, share this with your friend and your social circle. Share this with a friend in New Zealand because if you want to help them, then trust me, this is the best way that you can. From your host, Timothy Caetano, to the amazing Grant Hackett, absolutely killing it in Auckland, New Zealand. Take care and peace.
Thank you very much. Honored to be here.
All right.